All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to Andrew Wilson versus pink hair feminist debate on illegal migration. Let's jump in, guys.
Started the conversation as it pertains to immigration. Elon Musk on February 18th posted, haha, wow, in response to the White House posting, ASMR, illegal alien deportation flight. Scroll down a little bit on this, Mick. Scroll down. Okay, and to which you responded, you have no empathy for men, which led off to a conversation you and I had about immigration. So are you in favor of illegal immigration?
Didn't you say that morality is based around empathy?
Yes, I did.
So wouldn't that be an immoral position? Or is it just a moral position because you don't have any empathy for this group of people?
What do you mean? I said you have no empathy talking about Elon Musk just because, I mean, I'm not for illegal immigration. That's not something that I'm advocating for, but I think that posting it in that way, as if it's funny to do that to people and just pick up their whole lives, I don't think that that's funny. I think it's tragic, and I understand that we have to do it, but I think that it could be done in a better way. That's
What
not
better way?
Immoral.
So your problem was that he was just laughing about it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have a problem with that.
But I mean, it is kind of ironically funny, right?
How?
There we
Well,
go.
because if you break into my house
Right.
and then the cops come and take you out, I'm probably going to laugh at you, right?
Okay.
Would you laugh at somebody who broke in your house and then?
I do think that's a little bit different, though.
It's the
But
same.
would you laugh at them?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, where's your empathy for them then?
Well, I think that's a little bit different because those people aren't breaking into my house to live a better life. They're breaking into my house probably for a bad reason, I would assume, anyway.
Well, I mean, it's a good reason for them.
Right.
Like their reasons for breaking into your house is they want your stuff for a materially better life, just like the immigrant, right?
Right. Well, I guess that's subjective based on scenario, but I don't think that it's right to laugh about that in particular when it comes to immigration.
So you're not for illegal immigration?
I'm not. No, well, obviously not. I mean, I don't think that it is what it is, though. You know, if we could stop.
Oh my God, why we have this level of stupidity? I just don't get it, guys. How is it that people cannot use common sense for this? Illegal immigrants are a problem. They can assimilate to the culture, and their first encounter to the country is an illegal act. Why people cannot get this, man? If it could make you feel bad, man.
Stop it, then I think that would be great.
We have a
but
long
that's
conversation
just
to have
not.
regarding this.
I don't think that that's possible. I don't think that'll ever be possible.
What about deportations? Is that okay?
I think that depends, really, for me, morally. I think obviously criminals, that makes sense. That's been in place for a long time. But I think when it comes to kids like in the DACA program that have grown up here and have never lived like in their home country and they don't speak that language, I think that deporting them is immoral. I think that's wrong. And I understand that it's their parents' fault, you know, when they bring them over here. It's a selfish decision. But to put that on the kids kind of just seems unfair to me.
Doesn't it seem unfair to me?
It's an unfair situation all around. But
so how come this is what I don't understand about the empathy is morality crowd. I really don't get this part. And you say, well, Andrew, we really got to be empathetic towards these people and their plight. And it's like, but at the expense of me and mine, where's the empathy towards me and mine? And then it just kind of becomes, well, their shit's worse.
right.
It's like,
good point.
But isn't there supposed to be empathy on both sides?
I totally think that there should be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to pick a side when it comes to stuff like this because
it is so clear, and it's so clear and white, black and white kind of situation. Come illegally, we get you deported. That's it. If you come again, we just put you in prison, and then export you back to your, your country of origin, and we work something with the country where you just locked up for life, some kind of situation. I'm extreme, bro. I'm telling you, I'm extreme when it comes down to illegal immigration. I have no, how can I say this? When it comes down to stuff like this, illegal immigration is not in my priorities of empathy. Let's put it that way.
I agree with both of I agree with
It's
that.
not in my
but,
priorities
I
or
think that
empathy.
the implications for deporting somebody that's lived here for their whole life and they don't speak the language of their home country versus you having to deal with that person in a Walmart, I feel like it's a little bit of a different situation when it comes to.
Well, I
how
understand it
judgmental
sucks
is.
for them.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. They're going to have a lot of readjusting to do. You
Right.
know what I mean? But, not every DACA recipient is under that, by the way.
No, not all of them.
But the thing is even for the ones who are, right? Mm-hmm. If you are to, this is one of the big kind of like primary problems maybe we can dive into with your empathy's morality thing. What about looking forward 30 years? So it's like right now we can be empathetic towards these people, right? That's true. But what if you send the signal that this is now okay? And so more illegals come in, have children here, understanding that, well, these kids in 20 years can make the same claim as the former DACA recipients. And now we have to make all of them citizens as well, bypassing all of the other people who are in line. Not much empathy for those people, right?
Right.
And creating now a perverse incentive for more people to come and do it. Seems like it's the least empathetic thing to do.
Well, what would your solution be then when
Now,
it
see,
comes to
that question itself is a trap. Well, so what is your solution? See, she's negating the statement of Andrew's statement. She's negating that statement. When they say, what is your solution? Have you guys ever, think about it, guys. Have you ever met a woman that said, you know what is the solution for this? Can you help me for this? It's very rare for them to even ask for help, guys. In a conversation like this. That in itself, that type of questions is a trap.
deportation and legal immigration?
I would kick out every single illegal immigrant who was here and everybody here who wasn't a naturalized citizen.
Okay.
Gone. They have no business being in our nation. Nation is, from my perspective, it's culture, borders, language.
Yeah.
That's how a very famous talk radio host Michael Savage used to frame it. I largely agree with that assessment. Culture, border, language.
Right.
So in this case, illegal immigrants who come in, they don't have the same culture. They often, like even at the hotel I'm staying at, half of them don't speak English, right?
Right.
And
that is so frustrating. That is so frustrating. You go to a hotel here in the United States, you have a bunch of illegals, man. They don't even talk the language. That's how much respect they have for the American culture, man. I'm telling you, my kids are gonna play even the banjo. They're gonna play banjos, man. They're gonna be, I'm telling you that we incorporate a lot. We're gonna be so cultural or European centric, American European centric, because this is insane, man. We need to revive our culture, man.
And they've already violated the borders. So, like, for me, that's already criminal. So when you say things like, let's deport the criminals, I'm like, well, there they are.
Okay.
Right? They're already criminals from my perspective.
Right.
They've already broken in here. So,
When it comes to parents that come here and they have a kid here, though,
Deported.
and they raise that kid here,
Deported.
obviously they made a choice to do that. It's a selfish choice because they know that could be a possible implication. Do you still think that that's fine to?
well, the law of the land is that if you're born here, you become a naturalized citizen.
Right.
So
that's not. So that would be.
I want to repeal that.
Okay.
I would like for there to be a different interpretation that says that a naturalized citizen you have to have a mom and a dad, and both of them are native to the nation, and then they have a child. That child becomes native to the nation. That's I would get rid of the soil policy altogether. But that
Okay.
natural born would require your mom and your dad both be citizens of the nation.
Yep.
And then you become a citizen. That's
Yep.
that's like my
The majority of the countries, they have it like that. I don't understand, man. I just don't understand. I mean, then you start thinking about the Supreme Court, how soft the Supreme Court is sometimes, and their decisions. Even Republicans, they're so soft, man.
deals.
It's clear. Natural born citizens, right? It's only apply to those that are already American citizens. Even if you're a resident of the United States and you have a kid, your kid is still should not be a born citizen of the United States. If you have a permanent, but even if you're not a citizen, if your parents are not a citizen, you should go through the process of just getting that citizenship. I'm sorry, guys. We have to do it like that. And it does have a particular, guys, I'm Puerto Ricans. And Puerto Ricans are very patriotic. Even though a lot of people don't say, yeah, you see the case of Florida, you see the case of Pennsylvania, they're very patriotic. It makes sense because we don't like to just be compared to a lot of these Hispanics, man, that they come here, they don't even adapt to the culture. And that does hurt Puerto Ricans. You guys have to understand this. You understand that this? I feel offended sometimes, man. When these people they start talking bad about the country and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I don't have time for this shit, man. I really don't have time for this, and I don't like that. I don't like that, man. It's heavy, man. It's heavy in my stomach, man. I don't like it. They both have to be a citizen of the United States. Cannot be one, both. And if you're a citizen, if you're a legal citizen, not a born citizen. I will say legal citizen, but not an American. You have to take the test to become an American. If you have kids inside the spectrum, right? Your kids have to take the test to become an American citizen. We have to tighten up, guys. We have to.
Citizenship
Okay.
policy.
So when it comes to immigrants working here, do you not think that they are good for the economy? Do you think that they are harming it?
Sure, slave labor is good for the economy.
Okay. It's different.
Well, not really. So it's
different.
because they have no documentation, they can be paid under the table. They send
Right.
remittances back to their home nation, which is untaxed, right?
Okay.
Totally untaxed remittances in the hundreds and hundreds of millions. If not, I think it's billions actually that they send back in remittances, but don't quote me on that. It's at least hundreds of millions.
Okay.
They're sending back to their home nations.
Billions.
That's non-taxable. The employer is able to squeeze out American citizens for the jobs because now they can pay under the table.
Right.
And then they do
Well, the salaries don't go up.
work visa programs, but they're totally rigged.
Right.
So the work visa programs are totally rigged for various companies. The whole thing is a massive clusterfuck when it comes to that. So
Yeah.
I don't think that that's good policy. I think that you're just kind of promoting slave labor essentially by giving people perverse incentives to have people come across the border.
These people are against slavery, but they love to pay low wages to non-citizens. And also, these are the people that say, no, we need to have a minimum wage of $15,000 or $20,000 an hour, but they like to just hire illegals.
And then they have children here, and now we have a conundrum, right?
Right.
Like, oh, what do we do now?
Well, I definitely am not advocating for slave labor. Or people getting paid under wage. I don't advocate for that. But just for an example, like, let's just say that you have a construction company and you have 100 illegal immigrants working for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying them under minimum wage, and then we deport all of them. So in what I think logically is, I don't think that these businesses would be hiring 100 American citizens and then paying them a just wage. I think that they would be spending the same amount of money but hiring less people, which would just make everything less efficient.
Then why don't we just bring everybody into the United States?
Well, I don't think that's really an argument.
It is an argument. I'm all about. If you ask me, what about taxes? I'll say you repeal all taxes. Repeal all taxes. That's it. Everybody should not pay taxes. Zero. Should be zero income taxes, zero federal taxes. All right? I can go that extreme. They can. Because their logic has no foundation. You see? If bringing people to the United States is the best thing ever, man, but let's bring the entire world.
It's not an argument, it's a question.
Well, I am not advocating for that. That's not.
Yeah, but why not? If it just is going to perpetually increase the GDP and it's going to perpetually increase the amount of cheap labor that businesses can get, why not just bring everybody here or bring hundreds of millions a year here?
But do you understand my point, though? Like, do you?
No, not really. You're just saying if you have a business and the business has 100 employees, right? and suddenly the business owner had to pay a fair market competitive wage, he would have less employees.
Yeah.
That seems like it's the advocation again of slave labor.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that this is how I think it would go. I don't think that these businesses would hire American citizens at the same rate and pay them a higher wage. I think that it would.
But isn't that why we want to get rid of illegals, so that businesses have to hire our citizens at a competitive wage?
But do you see how it would make things less efficient? And again, I'm not advocating for paying people below minimum wage, but unfortunately it is what it is. So just thinking about it in terms of that, would that not make it less efficient?
Yeah, so if you want to understand the implication of your argument here, what you're doing is you're advocating on behalf of rich industrialists. So if rich...
We're going to do a second part of this, so let me know what you guys think so far. I would love to hear your guys' opinion. I'll see you in the next one.